Honourable members, Mr. Speaker.
Prayers.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the office of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with the abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your own glory and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen.
Item number 2 in the order paper, communication from the chair.
Colleagues, I welcome you to today's sitting. Matters of national importance. Honorable Chemonges William.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I raise on the issue of national importance about the construction of Cabroron craft floor scheme. Mr. Speaker, during our budget for 2024-2025, we approved the money for the construction of Cabroron craft floor scheme. This is one of the biggest scheme that was supposed to serve almost a half of my constituency. Mr. Speaker, when district since it was created, have never benefited. We've never had a water system in our district, and this was going to be the first of this kind. And it was in the budget of 2024-2025. The design was done, everything was done. Until to date, the financial year ended, and nothing have started. So, Mr. Speaker, the entire district is really impatient.
Honorable Chemonges.
Yes.
You say the item, the scheme was in the budget of 2024-2025. You as a member of parliament, did you follow up to see that it is again captured in 2025-2026?
I have been following it, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
I have also been following it through the regional office, which is in Mbale. At first, that was around May. I was told that there was only 3 billion. That could not make up 10% and 30%. That would be advanced to the contractor. So now that the financial year have ended, I need to be guided on where we are and what happens. Mr. Speaker, yesterday when we were approving loans with the media of these days, people follow. And my people are calling and say, Honorable, we can see serious approvals of loans.
So now you've also decided to come
so
here
I
and
feel like,
show them you have spoken.
Yes, my district should be
Very
part.
good.
Because this is also one of the most urgent issues.
Now
Mr.
you
Speaker.
get your Honorable.
Yes.
Thank you. So the Minister for Water should respond tomorrow because he's the one who knows the budget items. I don't know whether the Minister for Finance has it off cuff.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't have the facts off cuff. However, since the member is being asked by his people to follow this up. Mr. Speaker, we are in the process of budgeting for next financial year. I will be laying the budget framework paper next in December, and I wish to invite the member to take keen interest in case this item was not captured in the year 25-6. He could take keen interest and we capture it in the financial year 26-27. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. I want to inform the people of Kwen that Honorable Chemonges has been fighting for you. Yes, consistently has been. Now, Honorable Mara, matters of national importance are recorded with my office. Yeah, so has been fighting for you. Please remember him in your kingdom, as people of Kwen. Now, just in relation to what Honorable Musasis has responded, you know, colleagues, issues of the budget are issues I know which are hitting us really hard. And like I was in Kabari. In Kabari, I have special interest in Kabari because that's where I get my wife from. So the people of Karo, Honorable Nwagaba's constituency, told me about their health center. I promised that I'm going to go to finance and I push so that they can be supported to the tune of at least 500 million. So finance, I think, had a challenge. I don't know, Honorable Musasizi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you should have declared that you are one of the people of Kabale who are in the diaspora. And we are glad that you continue to remember where you came from. And thank you for synergizing with us to develop that place. Mr. Speaker, we have been helping through Honorable Nwagaba. We have been helping that constituency. And the 500 million you have asked for through him and yourself in the next budget is something we can consider.
Thank you.
And we are going to consider, right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. And why I was bringing this, Honorable colleagues, now someone went and made an allegation around Kabari that the money came, okay? And then my father-in-law withdrew it. and put up a building. And you know, it spread like fire. Because my mother-in-law, who happens to be the district speaker of Kabari, okay, is the councillor of that Kaharo. Honorable Nwagaba and her, when they hosted me, they are the ones who made the request. Now the rumor came, the money was paid. Then you can see, right, Honorable Taiwa's father-in-law is putting up a big structure in Kabari. So how come the time we failed to raise to get the money is when the building came up? So and people believe it. People believe it. Serious, it can spread. So, Honorable Minister, I want to thank you for saving me. Otherwise, if the Kanajis are taken back the daughter, I would come back here when I'm in trouble. Thank you for clarifying, helping me to clarify on that. It's only a such Kubo. I saw you abandoned the Uganda group.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. It is the Uganda group that abandoned me, and I thought it was quits when it reaches to that point. But Right Honourable Speaker, yesterday in your communication, you promised the House that you would ascertain, you would find out the circumstances under which the NTV Broadcasting House has been barred. The nation media, and you had promised that today you would have ascertained and informed Parliament about the circumstances under which the nation media was banned covering this Honorable House. Right, Honorable Speaker, we are responsible to the citizens of this country, but I would wish to point out that increasingly the media space is narrowing, right, Honorable Speaker, and sometimes on flimsy reasons, media houses have been locked down. I must declare I have an interest in this matter. For Point FM, Mr. Speaker, you are also involved with the media, but when the Uganda Communications Commission is used on flimsy ground to close media houses, like in the case of Point FM, Mr. Speaker, there was an allegation that one of the presidential candidates was coming onto the radio. Chagulaji was coming to Mubende and they said he would be on the radio. Then suddenly they said, you know, you owe Uganda Communications Commission 11 million. Yet they owe the station 27 million. But now they went ahead, carried away all the transmitters. And Honorable Speaker, the media is so sensitive. Point FM has hosted His Excellency the President on 2 occasions, including Mama Janet and other government ministers and officials. But now when we see this, not only to NTV and the nation media, we get concerned. How come that during the electioneering period, the voices of the people are clogged up? Right, Honorable Speaker, you know the losses suffered by the broadcasters and those who have paid up for their adverts. It is a big loss. But for the UCC to play politics, like what I ascertain, even rival, Mr. Speaker, I beg just 1 minute.
Honorable Seshko, that's not how we behave, please. Yeah, because you see, you came up on an issue to do with the house, you went outside the house, you are about to go beyond the borders. So I don't know where we can stop, okay?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I thank you for your guidance. Since this was a matter you promised this House, I lay my case on the question of the blackout of the National Media Group to cover this House, and as a reminder that it's not only here, but it is happening elsewhere.
Thank you.
But I pray that you guide this House on what the National Media has done, what crime they have committed, and whether Ugandans shouldn't be entitled to know whether there is divergent opinion. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, for those of you who came to my office from 7 a.m., because by 7 I had many colleagues who are waiting for me in the office. I've just left office now. I left a little, went for approval of DPP and the commissioners. I haven't cross-checked even with the clerk. Okay, I haven't cross-checked with the clerk. I will call the clerk. I cross-check because it's an administrative matter. I know, what I know here is that we have accreditation procedures. So the accreditation procedures, maybe they have some guidelines around them, but this is an administrative matter which the speaker or deputy speaker are not involved with. So I'm going to cross-check when I get time. I don't want to put deadlines on myself, Honorable, to say I've said tomorrow, today, no. Because I'm asking myself, why aren't you being covered nationally? So I received a message from the head of Nation Media, Madam Nsibirwa. I will call her. She gives me also facts. and then I will cross-check with the clerk. I haven't called her back. I will cross-check with the clerk on what might have happened on that. But I was very, very busy. I had a lot of pending business that I had to do since morning. Yes, Honorable Semujo.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and the Honorable Sechikubo for bringing back the matter. There were two issues with this matter. The first was the Parliament of Uganda taking a decision, as it has been reported, for which you are cross-checking, and we will wait. But there is also another blackout. The Nation Media Group cannot cover the president and activities the president is undertaking on behalf of Uganda. You had said, Mr. Speaker, that the responsible minister can explain. Because for me, the coincidence is what is bothering me. That the president stops the Nation Media Group from covering him, conducting public business, and then we get this story that the Parliament has also now joined. My fear is how many other government agencies, and Mr. Speaker, I am a journalist by training. When Monitor started, there was a ban of advertising on Monitor. It was targeted. In fact, Monitor is resilient. It didn't collapse. I recently saw Electoral Commission advertising only with the New Vision that has made it a duty that every day they will have a photograph of only one NRM candidate. Yet we pass money here. We pass money here to New Vision. But they are covering only one presidential candidate effectively. The others are just balancing. Every day you see NRM candidate Yoweri Museveni Tibuhaburwa with the crowd on the front page of New Vision every day. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to know if these ministers that you instructed to come here and explain whether they are also cross-checking the Minister for Presidency and Information, because we must know, is this now an unannounced government policy that you find ways of killing private media and independent media in Uganda? If it is not, we need an explanation. We see advertising now going to only New Vision and other media outlets that are supporting the candidature of the NRM presidential flag bearer. So can the ministers, as Mr. Speaker, we had requested yesterday, explain?
Honorable Kabyanga, is Nation Media not allowed to cover the president? So I'm getting news from Honorable Semuju, and has been consistent since yesterday.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. All media houses are allowed to cover the president. But Honorable Semuju is a seasoned journalist and a manager. All newspapers and media houses have editorial boards. And for them to release any news, the editorial board decide on what to release, not the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. And therefore, it's not under my mandate to decide what New Vision should publish or not.
Is the nation allowed to cover the president? That's the question you asked, Honorable.
Yes, they are allowed to cover.
It's allowed. Very okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes. Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker, the bare minimum we expect from a honorable minister of government is to have minimum levels of honesty. And if a minister stands before a House of Representatives and does not speak the truth, and he knows he's lying, that's really unbecoming of a honorable colleague. We all know, let's facts be, at first it was NBS, which had been buried for quite some time, not covering the president. And we are not talking about candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to Buhabura. We are speaking about the President of the Republic of Uganda. Now, it turns out that NTV and the Monitor publication, Nation Media, as we stand now, is barred from covering the President of the Republic of Uganda. So the question is, what have they done? And for you to come here and try to hide and not tell the truth, really it is dishonorable to an extent.
Honorable Kabyanga,
That's why, Right Honorable Speaker, and the reason why we are coming back forth, and I thank Honorable Sechikubo, for freedom of speech, freedom of expression, access to Parliament by the media is so cardinal that you can't just let it on the whim of some technocrats here, take time, they can ban people. We even have a gallery.
Yeah, but Honorable
where
Chivumbi,
free Ugandans are free to come here
Honorable
and
Chivumbi,
listen.
please. For you to cover Parliament here, you have to be accredited. And you must follow our guidelines of accreditation. Are you getting me? So you can't say because of what, we have a southern journalist here, because Parliament is a public place. That's why we have accreditation here. So, but now, because you're turning around a matter which we should look at soberly into something beyond, okay? So, to cover here, you must be accredited. It has been a practice over time. That's it. That one is very clear. Honorable Kabyanga, have you received any communication from State House that Monitor Nation is not allowed to cover the President?
I don't have any communication from State House.
Thank you.
And therefore, the media, the national media, is free to go and cover the President.
Thank you. Now, Honorable colleagues, Honorable Kabyanga is not in charge of security of the President, people around the President. He's Minister for ICT. He has not received the communication. I can't come and I hold him accountable here. Honorable Narima Betty. Honorable Christine Nakmuero.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I come with a matter that needs urgent attention from all of us. Right Honorable Speaker, we recognize that our country supports athletes, musicians, dancers, models, and pageants representatives. But Right Honorable Speaker, there are a number of individuals that represent Uganda on a number of issues. Right Honorable Speaker, we have a one called Aheru Trisha. This is a girl in her late 20s, but she has represented Uganda in a number of forums, Miss Popularity, Miss Model, the best popular model for the world, top model, and of recent, she won the Miss Environment, Uganda Miss Environment of 2025. Right Honorable Speaker, we are pleased that this girl has now been invited to take part in the International Miss World that will take place in the Philippines. But to our surprise, some of these people carry our flags and they are not recognized. Right Honorable Speaker, I bring this matter to request that as we plan for the athletics and in the quest to entice youth to take part in the climate change actions and environmental protection, and also use the environment to employ many youth, and also to use these people to do capacity building to our people on matters of environment. We need to recognize them, but at the same time have a contribution to their participation, because the flags they are carrying are ours. So, Right Honorable Speaker, the matter I'm raising is to request that at least Parliament, the line ministries, take cognizance of such people, and then we do have these people carry our flags, very confident to represent our country, and be able to come back actually and report to us about what they intend to do to our country. Otherwise, there is unequal recognition of contribution to some of these representatives. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Muyingo, would you want to comment on this?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable, the point that my colleague is coming up with is a very important one, because for us who are responsible for education, sports, we have always been recognizing those who carry our flags. One of the things we do remember to put in our possession when preparing to send off people is a flag. And it has really given people a lot of energy, a lot of encouragement to go and fight for our country, Uganda. So I want to agree with her. If there are any who have not been recognized before, I think we need to come up with a culture.
Thank you. Colleagues in the public gallery, this afternoon we have representatives to the upcoming Miss Environment Action in the Philippines, as earlier alluded to by our sister, Honorable Christine Nachmuero. They include Miss Ahwera Trisha Brenda and Miss Narima Prima Aisha. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in congratulating them and wishing them all the best. Thank you. Colleagues, also, we do have in the public gallery this afternoon pupils and teachers of St. Regina Nursery and Primary School from Kayunga District. They are represented by Honorable Gorobi Amos and Honorable Nantaba Aida Arios. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me in welcoming them. Kindly stand up. Want to see how smart you are. Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Honorable Mara. Honorable Mara, your matter of national importance, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. As you're all aware, there has been a lot of floods in northern Uganda, and my constituency, Otuke, and Aleptong district has been badly affected. The roads have been cut off by heavy floods. And, Right Honourable Speaker, there are 3 bridges that links into my constituency. One is called Kagota Bridge, one is Orit Bridge, and one is a Park Bridge. All those 3 bridges have been flooded, and as we speak now, Right Honourable, there is no business which is moving between Otuke, Aleptong, Lira, Karamoja. We are just now an island isolated out of the country. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to appeal to the Ministry of Works to really help us with the necessary equipment so that the waters are channeled appropriately and the necessary platforms are put in place for our people to travel. I submit, Right Honourable.
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Works.
Right Honourable Speaker, I sincerely feel sorry for Honourable Mara because I saw the situation in his constituency, and I've been there just recently when we did those roads. But the rivers have turned into lakes, so as of now I may have very little to do. I think the Minister of Water should help us to control his water. Otherwise, I don't have much to do now with the roads in that area. I'll have to wait for the water to subside, and then I'll deal with the situation.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Honourable Minister, sometimes because there is nothing that can come and government says it can't do anything. So I think what you need to do is to send a technical team to assess, and then they can advise and engage the locals, talk to them to calm them down. They will understand you. Okay? They will understand you. Lope.
Right, Honorable Speaker, now that you are speaking matters Lango region, you know, the president and the candidate of the National Unity Platform, Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, His Excellency, and the next president, God willing, Musasi's be ready to be on this side.
Honorable Chivumbi, stop recruiting on the floor. Let's go straight on to...
Right, Honorable Speaker, last night, the security forces, whatever police, here combined with the military, raided his hotel in the dead of the night in Lira city. And what the reports we are having, they were breaking into hotel rooms, tear gassing, pepper spraying, beating, and good enough, I see the Minister of Internal Affairs is here with us. Can we get an explanation? He's a candidate for presidency, properly cleared by the Electoral Commission, free to reside, free to campaign across the country. And here we are, the police taking it into their own hands to have a night break into a hotel where he's staying and causing all manners of mayhem. So we understand some of our campaigners who are accompanying him, you know, as presidents normally do, they have an entourage. They have been seriously injured and some have been hospitalized. Can we know the crime and the offense that warranted the police to raid a hotel and did what they did to a candidate that is, for all intent and purposes, free to campaign across the country? Right, Honorable Speaker.
Minister for Internal Affairs.
Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I've noted the question from the Honorable Kivumbi regarding last night's incident. I only have preliminary information to that effect. I'll get more details, but what I have is that the police were in pursuit of a fugitive suspect who was part of the entourage of the NUP leader and was involved in obstructing and actually taking some items from a police officer, CID Issa Abidie of counterintelligence, embedded as part of the infrastructure for crowd control. So some were arrested. That guy is called Geoffrey Uzima, was suspected to be within the hotel premises, but it seems he wasn't, so that is what caused the incident last night.
So, Honourable Minister, I hope these are issues.
But he will be pursued and brought to book.
So, Honourable Minister, I hope these are issues through your mechanism, which you share with the candidate on why this happened and all that, and then so that it doesn't go beyond to say what was the intention and all that. Okay? Honourable Jonathan?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. In that pursuit, the hotel was vandalized, and so many properties of the hotels were broken, the windows, even TVs. So I want the government to address their minds to the damage they have caused to a businessman who, in pursuit of business, hosted the presidential candidate. What would the position of government be in regard to the damages caused to the property? At least the owner of the hotel deserves an explanation. And we also want the name of Lira as a city not to be painted as a city that, is not welcoming, but also the businessmen to feel free to make money out of this process of elections. We still have about 6 other candidates who are coming to Lira and want them to become comfortable to be able to ask. So would government address us on the issue, specifically, why would the police go and force and break and vandalize the hotel? And yet they have other options of containing. If the suspect was within, they could even deploy and wait in the morning to be able to apprehend the suspect.
So now, Minister for Internal Affairs, is there a mechanism of compensating the hotel owner who is innocent in all this process?
I think the collateral damage, like the Honorable Odu puts it, will be assessed and appropriate action taken. But for purposes of this incident, a more detailed report will be furnished as soon as we get it together.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, you've been doing a great job. We've had a peaceful election. I hope let's strive to maintain that line. Okay? Yeah. The same Honorable Semuju.
Not the same. I only join you in thanking the Honorable Minister. One of the few ministers you will contact and he will respond. Maybe the others need to learn from him. And not just for a ceremony like the Honorable Bahati does, that answering is just a ceremony. So the Minister of Internal Affairs will give you an explanation. You may refuse it, but he will. So can I raise my issue, Mr. Speaker?
I can see you even conceding space before I allow Honorable Bahati. So let Honorable Bahati raise a point of order.
I know, Mr. Speaker, I know the reasons why Honorable Semuju is attempting to mention what he's mentioning to Honorable Muhozi, but I know that he will not do what he's not supposed to do to you. So you don't have to fear about that. But it's in order really to mention that when I'm answering questions here, I'm just doing a ceremony. When I'm answering on behalf of government, under your supervision, can he withdraw that statement, Mr. Speaker? It's a very serious statement.
Maybe also when he's tickling you, so it's a ceremony, and then he gets... Because the two of you, these days, you're so much in, you're enjoying each other so much.
I didn't intend to offend the Honorable Bahati, who today I don't know whether he's a Prime Minister or acting Chief Whip. And if I did offend him, I am sorry. Mr. Speaker, a while ago, and I'm not seeking to reopen the matter that you have closed, the Honorable Kavianga did not address one leg of the nation. And I can understand there are ministers who see the president only on TV. Maybe he's one of them. So he may not know everything, as he has demonstrated. But the point, Mr. Speaker, can we get the Minister for Presidency to tell us, as a country, why more than, because Nation Media Group is Daily Monitor, is NTV, is two other radio stations, but also social media. So they have about 7 platforms that are now not allowed to cover the president. So can the Minister for Presidency tell us what exactly happened to calm us down? And that matter will end, Mr. Speaker, if you allow.
Thank you. So the Minister for the Presidency will come and tell us. Honorable Kabusu Moses. Then we conclude with Honorable Mushucha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on a matter of national importance regarding security of fishermen in my constituency. Last week, prior to nomination, Mr. Speaker, I traveled around Mazinga and the Bobeke sub-county.
Just Honorable Kabusu, I need the attention of the Minister for Internal Affairs.
This sub-county
This matter is for him.
at the border of Tanzania and the other one at the border of Kenya in Lake Victoria. Mr. Speaker, the fishermen reported to me, and I do report, that armed people, some of them cover their faces with masks. They find them at night and some during day and rob them of their fish, fishing gears, fuel, and engines. We reported this matter, Mr. Speaker, some time ago, and a promise was made that there would be a joint task force of the Ministry of Security, Defense, and that one of Internal Affairs to provide some relative security to our fishermen. Mr. Speaker, it's an election season, and everyone seeks to be attended to. This one is not only about election, but security of the fishermen, of their property, and those of us traveling on the lake. I do pray, Mr. Speaker, that the Ministry of Internal Affairs and that one of Security organizes a team to go and interact with the fishermen at Chitobo Island, Miana Island, Nkese Island, and Nkose. These islands, I will give details if necessary, Mr. Speaker, and the fishermen may know or may give clues of how to trace these people, such that they are secure with their property and they be there to elect us during the forthcoming elections. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Internal Affairs.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. That is a valid concern from the member, our maritime safety for the people. The biggest threat has been from rogue elements, from members of the security forces from DRC especially, and recently we even had an incident where they robbed some fishermen but were intercepted and some killed, so it caused a standoff. Recently I saw even a reprisal attack by the same group. But it's a matter between us and DRC to resolve, but also indeed to put in place measures so that our people are not vulnerable. So indeed we shall visit and address this situation before it escalates. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Mujite.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the road from Mbarara, starting in Bizubwera, Nyakambu, then Kabwohe, Buweju, has for a long time been in a very bad state. However, recently, because of rains, most parts of this road have been cut off. Following the rains of yesterday, I called the station manager who is based in Uganda, and she told me that the contractor that had contracted that road ran away about a month ago, and he's not even picking his calls. We now cannot connect through Shema or through Kashari to go to Mbarara district, and these are our main connections. My concern is to the Minister of Works, General Katumba Wamara. Is there anything you can do as you wait to get the contractor or replace him so that we can connect through Shema and Kashari to Mbarara? Because this is a difficult season, as you know. The presidential candidates would want to access Buweju and campaign. We would also want to access our areas as members of parliament. Remember, I am the shadow minister for works. I can't go home. Can you do something about it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Basil Bataringa had also approached me over the same, if you just wanted to add on, and then the minister responds.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The road is also being talked about for a long time about being tarmacked. And we even approached the Minister of Finance, and when we were doing the annual the development plan, the road had now been listed as pre-feasibility. And it forced us to visit the Minister of Finance to inquire why a road that had already obtained a contractor now had been listed as pre-feasibility as if it had never been considered. Remember, houses have been marked and now people cannot get loans. So it is a very important issue that needs to be addressed urgently. So one, to address the issue, the current issue about the rains cutting off the road, but the emergencies, but also to work on the other issue of tarmacking the road. Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm very aware of that road, Bizuwera and Sika, Nyakambu. What we are going to do, I had not yet known because I was very sure that there is a contract of the framework contract. But if he has deserted, then what we'll do, we are going to mobilize on force account and we shall handle it as of now. Now, on the issue of that road being tarmacked, the challenge has been money for land acquisition. We have put in budget, when we get the monies which are coming soon, 30 billion, so that we start the land acquisition to enable the contractor to be on site. The contractor is ready to be on site, but what was preventing us putting him on site was because of land acquisition. But we have itemized that for 30 billion. We know we shall start with a good stretch, and then we have the contract on site. I'd like to submit.
Thank you. I visited that area, I think a few months back, on the invitation of Honorable Naomi Chibaji. And indeed I asked people, because General Katumba had briefed me saying the contract is ready, but he didn't have money for compensation. So I asked the people, I said, you are saying without a road, no votes. So can we allow the contractor to come and start work as we mobilize money for compensation? They said no. So I really know the predicament. I really know the predicament, and Honourable Minister, it's a very, very big concern for that area. And I'm glad you're taking up the initiative. Thank you. Next item. Procedure, Honourable Watkins.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Now that I had Honorable Semuju praising General David, let me also take the honor to praise you, but that's not the matter. Mr. Speaker, sir, somebody made this comment. Initially, it was a private talk, and I said, Right Honorable Speaker, Tayewa Thomas is coming out in the history of our country as one of the best deputy speakers in Uganda. I want to make that submission, Mr. Speaker, but that's not the point.
What are you up to? Why?
So, Mr. Speaker, now this is the point. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm grateful to the leadership of this great institution. The Right Honorable Speaker made and received a petition and calmed down the teachers, the local government, and the doctors. You and the Right Honorable Speaker, we want to commend you. Mr. Speaker, sir, this Monday, we lost a priest in my parish, and I didn't know. I was mobbed by over 200 teachers, Mr. Speaker, wanting to know the progress. And I was crystal clear and honest, like I should, and I told them, we don't have money for you in the budget. But Parliament is one institution that is mandated by law to appropriate. Mr. Speaker, so we're passing a lot of loans. We have the leg room enough to bring on the floor a supplementary. Mr. Speaker, sir, our fellow citizens in the local government, the doctors and the teachers want a fair pay that can meet all of their bills. Mr. Speaker, so my procedural issue is it not within our mandate, Mr. Speaker, to appreciate that these teachers have been crying long enough, and there is a possibility of interrupting even exams if we don't make good on our promise, Mr. Speaker. Now that the Minister for Finance is here and the Minister for Education, Mr. Speaker, sir, the teachers, the local government, and the doctors are waiting to make good on the promise that we made. Mr. Speaker, sir, I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. Indeed, you are right. The House is handling, and the chairman is about to finish. Next week, we shall have that item on the order paper. But again, colleagues, I want to caution you, when we are promising the public on what we are able to do and not able to do, on issues of commitment on finances, we should be cautious. Because Article 93A, Roman 3, I think Roman 3, is very, very clear on financial restrictions. We cannot, as Parliament, pass a motion or a bill or anything that has a charge on the consolidated fund without it coming from government or approval of government. So we are trying to be a bridge in between. If we could narrow it down to the issue of how much money is needed, and then the executive comes up and says, okay, this is what we are negotiating with the teachers. For us as Parliament, we are willing. We are willing to adopt the position that would give these teachers money. That one has to be very, very clear. We are willing. But this is an issue that would be sorted out through the negotiations between public service and the unions. And I hope they can be expedited. Once they've concluded, then we shall come in as a House. But in the meantime, the chair is about to conclude. He updated me, and we shall give it space on the order paper early next week. Next item.
Item 3 on the order paper, statement by Minister on the successful students' loan beneficiaries for the academic year 2025-2026.
Honourable Minister for Education.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, and dear colleagues.
I can see it's a long statement. I don't know if you could pick out
Summarize.
the salient issues.
Okay, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and dear colleagues, following the amendment of Higher Education Student Financing Act of 2024 and rationalization of government agencies and public expenditures, the Higher Education Student Financing Board was abolished and mainstreamed its activities into the Ministry of Education and Sports Department from the 1st of January to January 2025, and now functions as a department within the ministry. This reform was intended to enhance efficiency in service delivery, reduce administrative issues, administrative duplication, and strengthen alignment of student financing with the broader education and skills development agenda of government. I'll try to summarize. And the amended law mandates the Ministry of Education and Sports, therefore, to administer the students' loan scheme to eligible students who wish to pursue higher education in Uganda. Call for application for an academic year 2025-26. Right Honourable Speaker, the Ministry placed the call for a loan application on the 15th of June 2025 in the print media up to 31st July 2025. There were extensions up to 15th August 2025. The ministry had to extend the deadline for Unity because they had received the admissions late, and advert messages were widely shared through the print media, social media, others, and that included YouTube, formerly called Twitter, and the WhatsApp. I'm trying to summarize, gentle people. Loan application modes. We used online as the only mode for loan applications. Of course, there are a lot of advantages there, which you know very well. I will not take you through the advantages because you know. The number of applications were received. The ministry received a total of 7,175 applications compared to 6,661 in 2024-2025. And this signifies a growth of 10% in the number of applications received. The total number of undergraduate degree applicants were 5,920 and 1,205 for diploma courses. I want to give you these figures as a way of answering the question that we raised last time. The successful loan applicants, the number of successful loan applicants were 2,047, representing a success rate of 28.8% of the application received. Of these, 1,186 were male and 861 are females. The improved female participation was a result of affirmative action for female gender by giving an extra 7 points to female applicants. We gave them an affirmative to push their numbers, as you've noted. Right Honourable Speaker, the total number of female successful applicants, as mentioned earlier, was 861, up from 517 who were supported last financial year. The highest number of beneficiaries are in the disciplines of education, who are 513, followed by engineering, 444. This is a clear testament that the scheme is well aligned to the National Development Plan for priorities, and that has put focus on industrialization, tourism, science, technology, engineering, and so forth. Right Honourable Speaker, the ministry awarded loans to persons with disability on affirmative action also to pursue their studies in science and humanity programs. There's affirmative action there, I skip the rest. Eligibility into the scheme. Right Honourable Speaker. In line with the amended law that established the scheme, the following considerations were taken into account while awarding loans. 1. An applicant has got to be a Ugandan. 2. The applicant had to be admitted for an accredited course or program of study. Not every university program is accredited, or the other. 3. The applicant had to be admitted in a chartered institution of higher learning. A chartered institution, accredited institution. 4. The applicant had to apply for the loan. You see, allocation number 5, allocation based on district quota. Allocation was based on district quota, gender, socioeconomic status, and equity in accordance with the Higher Education Student Financing Act of 2014 as amended in 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, this time around the Ministry of Education and Sports adopted 3 loan award selection model in line with Parliament's recommendation and aspirations of taking into consideration the district quota. In selecting the successful loan applicants, the Ministry considered the district quota alongside the socio-economic status of the applicant. 60% of the students were considered according to the district quota. So 60% takes people to district quota, while 40% were awarded based on their levels of socioeconomic vulnerability using the Prexy means test formula which we had agreed upon in the past. Of the 60 district quota, 30% of the successful beneficiaries were shared equally by all districts, whereby each district got a uniform district quota of 4 to 5 slots, regardless of the socio-economic status of the applicants, and in so doing, all the districts in Uganda that had less than 5 applicants were successful. The other 30% were proportionately shared by the district according to the number of applications received from a particular district. The remaining 40% were allocated based on the level of socioeconomic vulnerability of the applicant using the Prexy means test formula that looks at a number of variables that are common with the less disadvantaged families. Right Honourable Speaker, we are pleased to report that every part of the country had a proportionate share of the representation with the emphasis on district quota. The districts known for low participation rates, like Amdat, only one in Amdat applied, and she was selected 100%. Buvuma, only 4 applied, and they were all selected. Kalangala, only 3 applied, and they were all selected. Madi Okoro, 7 applied, and they were all selected. Obongi, 5 applied, and they all selected. You can't give you what you have not asked for. Moroto, 3 applied, and they were all taken. Bulisa, 4 applied. Intoloko, 5 applied, and they were all taken. Jinja City, it's 8 who applied. Kabongo, 5 applied and were all taken. Kabera Maido, 7 applied and were all taken. Nabitala took 6 applied and all had beneficiaries, are the beneficiaries that applied qualifying this time. The challenge was that the mentioned districts had small numbers of applicants. However, whoever applied was given students' loans. Participating higher learning institutions, but of course, as I said, not everybody who goes to school goes to or institution goes to an accredited one. We are very strict that it's only those who are in chartered private universities and the other tertiary institutions offering undergraduate degree program or programs, courses respectively. Loan coverage. The loan awarded to students covered the student institution fees, covered the functional fees, research fees payable to tertiary institutions, and the funds to cover appliances for persons with disability were also covered by the loan scheme. The Ministry disperses loan funds directly to the tertiary institutions and not to the beneficiaries. Budget for the new cohort of the students' loan. The budget for the first year students stands at 7.83 billion shillings that had been earmarked to fund 1,500 students. I would like to report that the funds that were meant to support 1,500 students, support them on this scheme, supported a total much bigger than what was planned, 2,047 students, due to increasing number of applicants with a low unit cost. As earlier reported, majority of the beneficiaries are learners undertaking BSc with education, which is lower in cost compared to many other programs. Right Honourable Speaker, as I conclude, I would like to thank you for your usual support to the education sector and once again inform the House that the demand for students' loan has exponentially increased, outpacing the available resources. This year, 7,215 applicants, only 2,047 were successfully given the bursaries or the benefited from this scheme. There is therefore need for this House, Honorable House, to consider allocating more funds, and this will curb down the many complaints registered from the unsuccessful candidates. Right, Honorable Speaker, allow me to lay on table a detailed report of the Student Loan Award for the academic year 2025-26 for your information. I submit.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Thank you. So, Honourable colleagues, I will pick three. Comments. Honourable Nachimwero, Honourable Boka Didi, Nyanzi. Yes. Let me pick those ones for now.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity, and thank you, Honourable Minister, for sharing with us. We are happy that at least the numbers are increasingly being considered based on your report. But Right Honourable Speaker, I still have an issue on the affirmative gap. The affirmative gap this time around was not on sex. It was on the regional balance or ethnicity, something like that, not on sex. And either a female or a male. You see, the issue of the product serving more females or girls was not the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge was on the balancing of the regions, which is not coming out clearly. Right Honourable Speaker, the issue of the online application, it is good, technology is improving, but our students may not have access to this application, especially deadlines. Could there be an improvement in sharing these adverts with the line officers at the districts? At least the adverts could be hanged probably on the district offices for all people to know, because the online applications and also the responses become very difficult for some of our very vulnerable, because they look at vulnerable students. Very vulnerable students have no equipment even to respond to applications. So there could be a provision for district line officers to receive this information and help share it with some of our vulnerable students. Otherwise, leaving them behind wasn't good. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Bokadidi.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to make some observations on the report by the Minister of Education. Right Honourable Speaker, last year there was a report presented by the Equal Opportunities Commission that highlighted that out of the beneficiaries of the loan scheme, there are regions that have been highly marginalized. And these regions include West Nile, Acholi sub-region, Lango, and Karamoja, including Bukedie. The reasons were obvious. These are regions that do not perform well in the government sponsorship program because of the situation of the schools in which they learn. Secondly, when it comes again to the loan scheme financing, I don't know, Honourable Minister, the formula used. What we see is that more and more of the opportunities are given to the regions and the districts that perform well under the ordinary government sponsorship. Would like to know the affirmative action formula that is being applied to a district like Obongi that has no electricity, that has no internet, and the application is online, and many other Obongi-like districts. Right Honorable Speaker, in the last 5 years, Obongi district as a district has not received any more than 5 students that have benefited from the government loan scheme. We look forward to an affirmative action that takes into consideration the disparities and inequities in our educational system to ensure the sons and the daughters of the poor peasants of this country are the ones that are given the first call under the loan scheme. I submit.
Thank you. Honorable Nyanzi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy with the report of the Honorable Minister, now that nearly all districts are benefiting from this. And I want to commend the House for the amendments that were passed, because previously you'd find applicants, those who are successful coming from particular districts, and then you look at another district having 1 or 2. So this is good. But also, Mr. Speaker, just recently there was also a discussion of how government scholarships can also be made equitable in all districts. And I remember, Honorable Speaker, you were the champion of this, looking at how the rich will end up, the children of the rich will also end up benefiting when we get to government sponsorship at universities. I think soon the ministry should also consider this, so that the aspect of maybe district quota can come in. If we talk of 4,000 government slots, all other districts should also equally benefit. There is also the aspect of State House scholarships. This issue has been here also for long, but whenever we bring it, nothing is discussed conclusively. I don't know. One day if we asked, I don't know if even the ministry has a list, but you would be surprised to see who the beneficiaries of these State House scholarships are. How I wish they can also have that aspect of district quota, so that if State House is sponsoring some, maybe 500, I can also see some 10 from my district. That will mean that we shall have equity and equality nationally as far as scholarships and education are concerned.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Lope.
Right Honourable Speaker, I appreciate the increase in numbers, but Right Honourable Speaker, the Minister has made a fundamental statement and an appeal, from which I want to really request this Parliament. For the last 30 years, nearly almost the entirety of the NRM government, it has maintained a paltry 4,000 students that are sponsored by government across universities. It is a figure that has been static, and with the increasing population, it remains a little bit laughable. Secondly, even with the government sponsorship, the district one, this application, loan application, originally they've been targeting 1,500, but if I'm to take on the figures the minister has given us of 2,047, and you have 145 districts, those are 14 students per district. Right Honourable Speaker, as you are aware, government has emphasized a parish model. We have nearly 10,000 parishes in Uganda. And if you are sponsoring a total of 6,000 students, both on government, both on loan scheme and on government sponsorship, that means you cannot even sponsor students per parish in Uganda. And you are busy saying the parish model is a success. So you can imagine, for all these years, NRM government has failed to sponsor one student per parish in Uganda, because these are 14. A district like mine has got about 25 parishes. Therefore, if you are talking about 14, they are pretty small. And this takes into consideration of bigger districts like Wachiso and others. Therefore, the appeal is that I want government to consider. Much as you are fighting, the more you leave a lot of people, a lot of students to be privately sponsored. One, you are causing land sale. Part of the land problem in Uganda, people are selling land to pay for school fees. You are compounding poverty and everything. Therefore, we want to ask now directly the sitting ruling party, are you comfortable that you cannot even sponsor one student per parish in Uganda? Are you comfortable that for 40 years of your existence as a government, you have maintained a 4,000 students per and 2,000 now, and you seem to be cherishing it as an achievement? How can you be so proud, Honorable, my brother, with that despicable number, that you cannot even sponsor a child per parish at a government level? Right, Honorable Speaker, I appeal in the next budget for us to do all we can, and hopefully if our government is in power, definitely we are going to change this. We will do everything that we can. Even if we are not, I appeal to a parliament that will be here. Good enough you are going to be here. I don't know under which capacity, but you are assured deal. For you, it's for sure. Let's do everything and change this. 4,000, 6,000 is despicable. Every district where we come from, people are selling land. The number of applicants that want to succeed to join university, they are over now 10,000. And you are paying a pre-test 60,000. And the minister is so proud. My sister here was praising. I said, but has she read the statistics? You are leaving almost 90,000 into people's hands. That's despicable. And you need to improve that. So I think this is a very poor score for NRM for 40 years. For having done all this that you can do, you ought to do better. Reduce classified budget, reduce those other things, and increase money on sponsoring, and change can only come from education. Honorable Minister, I know General, this is despicable. It's embarrassing that for 40 years this is what you are capable of. I beg to move right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, I had called the Honorable Minister of Education, but I just wanted to know from the Honorable Minister on when did you make education the most priority course? I don't know, because I can see you're proud of it. And these people, you have no schools to put them in, the teachers are... are you planning in any way to continue with the verification process like you do for district quota? Because I think district quota, you write to the districts, they verify also vulnerability, especially from districts which are some where you get around 50 students. You know, Honorable Mona, you are itching. Say something about this.
Thank you very much.
And then Honorable Wanika.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank my colleague for this statement. And I also want to thank the House for the response to this statement. Right Honorable Speaker, education is one sector that is very key in the socio-economic transformation of any country. I am happy that as the country, as government continues to improve the country, we are even now beginning to have this kind of scheme which was not there. And maybe this may also inform my honorable colleague who was saying after 40 years we can't sponsor 40 students per parish. We look towards, in fact, just like we did, Right Honorable Speaker, we introduced the universal primary education. Later on we introduced the universal secondary school education. And we look forward with improvement in our economy to begin to sponsor students freely even at these universities. But at least for everything, there is a beginning. What I want us to agree as a House is that, one, this is a very important scheme. Secondly, that next time we begin to appropriate more money to sponsor more students. Thirdly, I will propose an amendment, but in the other forum, not this one, especially in the executive forum, because we need to make this more affirmative. If you look at the data given here, right, Honourable Speaker, there are districts that can hardly raise 5 students that can qualify to apply for these loans. So I will bring up this amendment so that we push to these districts so that they are able to have more students, particularly these districts which are are producing very, very few students. And actually, right, Honourable Speaker, if you look at the data there, and also look at the Equal Opportunities Report, some of these districts actually have got very, very low number of students who are doing useful courses of the modern economy. So how do you target those districts? For instance, Amudat, Kabramedo, and those ones in the highlands. We need to give them more, for equity, we need to give them more number than the universal quota that we're giving. That's not enough. But I want to say, unlike Honorable, Right Honorable, unlike what Honorable Chivumbi is saying, I can assure you that the government of NRM prioritizes education, and is one of those that we have identified as key sectors that will help transform this country. And we have begun. We have begun as government, but also Parliament next time should also focus on it so that we give more money. I'm very happy that I want to see next the debate on the budget, that everyone here is saying we need more money to sponsor more students. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to employ colleagues that this information about the opportunities of these schemes don't reach every village in the country. And I want to employ honourable colleagues here that when you pick this because you are better positioned, pick this information and give them to your constituency so that the children there know about the opportunities that exist. In a place there are students who come to me looking for fees, but they don't even know. They don't even know that these opportunities exist. Others even don't have the equipments like smartphones to apply online on time, so they miss out. So all of us, I think, let's agree on this, that there's no difference. We have no difference as far as this is concerned. What we need to do is work together, support this scheme because it is important for our country.
Thank you. Honourable Mona, if you're in that sector you're in, you see, some of the people, when they hear the word loan, they get scared. It's as if you're going to borrow on behalf of the family and all that. So districts like Amudat, like Nabratuk, these districts which could raise one student, I think we should look so much on the district quota. District quota arrangement. Maybe you don't need to get every district to say how 5 students were. No, I think you can discuss on the executive side and see how you can do affirmative action. You say, for example, each of these districts you have like 10 students. And you make the students work hard knowing if they pass, they will get affirmative action. Okay? Yeah, not just loan. Some people fear loan. They hear about a loan and they say, no, you can't get a loan on behalf of the family. They even stop you from applying. No, one can conclude. And
thank you, Right Honourable. Right Honourable, the nation has a shortage of 187,000 health workers, doctors, nurses, midwives. I wanted to know, when I listened to the minister, how do we choose our priorities? I have no problem with teachers, but I don't hear you. I thought that one of the objectives of this student loan will be to bridge gaps. We don't have health workers. I have not heard, you have talked about education, you have talked about engineers. I thought that this loan should help government to bridge the gaps if we have done needs assessment in the country, and health workers is one of them. Thank you, sir.
Honourable Minister, procedure.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, before we conclude, I wanted to let you know that the minister has been very witty in presenting a brief report and choosing to lay the main report. But I've had the opportunity to peruse through this report. If my tears were a bit out, I would be crying by now, because you'd wonder why the country has been marginalized. Because when you look critically at this report, I will point a few examples. I think from what I saw, the highest district with 63 is in Tungamo, followed by Shema, 43, followed by Bushenyi, 35, compared to 20 of Mitoma, 8 of Gulu, 9 of Abim, 9 of Kalake, and 16
Mitoma 20
of
or
Apache.
12?
So the
Mitoma 20 or 12?
20.
20. And
Yes.
I also want to know, because I'm not hearing people in my constituency,
Yes.
they are crying. So I want to know which part of Mitoma.
Yes. So the point of procedure wanted to move you that if you are pleased, this main report is referred to the committee so that it can be processed properly and then the recommendations can be captured. I think the whole idea or the intention of Parliament has been lost in selection of these beneficiaries. And when we refer it, it will probably have very good recommendations for us that will help the executive undertake it. Otherwise, it's so painful that the communities that have been marginalized for long and deserves to be uplifted are the ones again seemingly being oppressed by this scheme.
Thank you. Now, I think that's good guidance, Honorable Chris, because even the committee was handling this matter and they have not yet reported. Honorable Minister, won't that be good so that we interact more and with the colleagues on the committee?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister. Colleagues, I want to thank all of you for supporting this scheme in the first place, especially when you look at where we came from. There was a lot of people were opposed to having this scheme started. But the way you are discussing, you are fully all in support, and I hope the discussions we are having, we are now discussing how do we get the money, because all that is needed is money. Minister, I would like to begin with the those who have been marginalized. I think there is no marginalization here. It is the standards we set. It's the requirement, the conditions that determine who benefits. First of all, as I said, is you have got to be a Ugandan. Secondly, you must have been admitted for a degree program or a diploma program. We are not going to, and 3, you must be admitted in an education institution that is chartered or that is chartered. Not all these institutions are. When you look at the details, as my brother there was saying, when you look at this, very many people from institutions like Wakiso applied. And you go and find that in Kalangala, there is only 4 who applied. We can't. Please give me my book.
No, Honourable Minister, can we go into this deeper detail at committee level?
Right.
Okay, good. Okay. I think it will be more helpful, especially it will support you. We shall make strong recommendations supporting, strengthening this scheme and supporting it further. Okay. Thank you, Honourable Minister. So I refer the report to the Committee on Education for further scrutiny and reporting back. I will then within 3 weeks. Yeah, let's do 3 weeks. Okay. And let them give proposals on how best we can help these vulnerable areas, either through giving more slots for district quota, okay, or whichever mechanisms, Honourable Minister, you will share with them. I'm sure as a senior teacher and an educationist, you will be able to guide and interact with the committee. Next item.
Item 4 on the order paper, laying of papers. 1. waiver of outstanding tax arrears for Uganda Cooperative Alliance, UCA.
Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the waiver of outstanding tax arrears for Uganda Cooperative Alliance, UCA. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Sorry, I mentioned Honorable Commissioner instead of Honorable Minister. Yeah. Thank you. The waiver stands referred to the Committee on Finance, Planning and Economic Development for consideration and reporting back.
Item 4.2, report to the Auditor General on the financial statements of National Water and Sewerage Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2025.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay on table a report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of National Water and Sewerage Corporation for the year ended 30th June 2025. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honourable. Please, the report is referred to the Committee on Public Accounts COSASE for consideration and reporting back.
Item 4.3 on the order paper, reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Makerere University 19 projects under NOHID 2 program for the period ended 31st December 2024.
So, honourable colleagues, on this one, we are just going to lay the report, because it has all the details. We don't need to call from A up to S because they are all contained in this one report. Honourable Minister. The Minister of Finance is a commissioner, is a member of the commission. Yes, procedure.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the item has been called for laying by the Commissioner of Parliament. We have elected commissioners both sides of the House. There have been changes in the final year of this House. The leader of the opposition is a member of the commission, and as you are aware, he has openly complained of being locked out of the parliamentary commission. And now I would like to ask you to confirm who is the commissioner designated by the opposition in the circumstances of the changes that has happened in this House in the last 1 year regarding the affiliations, and who I can approach as a member of the opposition to represent me on the commission in light of the fact that, one, the leader of the opposition is locked out, is denied, but also there is a vacancy, in my understanding, from the side of the opposition. I beg to get clarified on that matter, Mr. Speaker.
But Honourable colleague, the leader of opposition is a member of the parliamentary commission, and whenever he wants to attend his meetings, whenever he is not available, he doesn't attend. But the Honourable Matthias Mpuga is a member of the parliamentary commission from the opposition side. So I don't have any other useful information.
I was asking that question because if you look at the law that governs the Administration of Parliaments Act, once a member designated on the opposition changes political party, it is in the law the vacancy automatically occurs. I was asking in that respect.
And which party has he joined? Has he joined NRM? Yeah. Because me, I thought any party which is not NRM is an opposition party. I don't know, you can help me understand.
Mr. Speaker, when
you can lend us a few people, like how Jonathan, your party lent us, but you still remain opposition. I don't know.
I know we have lent as UPC, we have lent to you a member in the front bench, but this is a matter of law that I will invite your attention, just for clarification, because this is a house of record. Yeah. We still have other parliaments going to come, and we have the law that guides us. I just want to be sure that the House is moving in the right direction in that respect. So when maybe you retreat to your chambers, you can reflect a little bit and maybe inform us. Thank you.
I will just I'll consult and then I inform you. Okay? Yeah. So, Commissioner, stroke Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Makerere University's 19 projects under NOHED 2 program for the period ended 31st December 2024. I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker. And the reports are hereby laid.
Thank you, Honorable. The report is referred to the Committee on Public Accounts, Central Government, for consideration and reporting back. Next item.
Item 5 on the order paper. Motion for resolution of Parliament authorize government to borrow up to United States dollars 1,341 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank Group and receive grants worth United States dollars 308.3 million to finance the unlisted projects and programs.
So, Honourable Minister for Finance, we stood over.
Right Honourable Speaker, I happen to chair the PAC, and I've seen the volume of work you've pushed to the committee, and the period as you know it, difficult as it is, and a financial year, the audit year, will elapse in December. We shall have a new audit report. And when I look at really the number of audit reports you've pushed, they are nearly going to 100, and fairly tall order in the circumstances. How would we, as the head of the institution, what time scale are you giving this committee to accomplish the work that Parliament is assigning to us? Because it's so critical, I wouldn't pretend on behalf of the committee that I have the capability to do a thorough job on given the time scale. So what time scale are you giving? Given the fact that also the audit year ended in June. So how do you advise as head of the institution how we handle this volume that you are pushing to this committee?
Honorable colleague, of course we have a statutory deadline with regard to these reports. But I think what we do, let us retreat with your clerk. We look through this issue and we see how best you can be supported to handle your work. Yeah, that's what I can say for now. We need to go back, we put our heads together as a team, because it's not only about us or about you. I think once we work together, we'll find a way out, and we'll do a thorough job. I thank you. Yes. Yes. Because I remember even Kosasi, how many have we sent to Park Central?
But like 95% of the reports have been sent to one committee, which is Park Central. Because as I've seen, there are like not more than 5 reports you've sent there.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, okay, let's go back, because Article 163(5) of the Constitution gives us only 6 months. Yeah. So let's go. We see the mechanisms we can have in place to ensure indeed we do our job. Thank you. Next item. Minister of Finance. Oh, they had already called item number 5. So, Minister of Finance, we stood over this item yesterday mainly because of the issue of the financing agreement. And said we need to hear from you today so that we know that the conditions that are part of the agreement, financing agreement, are known. And I'm sure you must have submitted this to World Bank must have shared with you. Is it? I just need to know. Members want to be reassured. And also I said the chair should look at it, the committee should look at it.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday I was not in the House. I was handling other duties in the ministry. However, this morning when I came back, I found an invitation by the chairman of the Committee of National Economy asking us to appear before the committee to resolve the outstanding issue which you have just raised surrounding the financing agreement for the USMAID project, which we have negotiated with World Bank. And Mr. Speaker, I appeared before the committee and I laid the copy of the financing agreement to the committee. With your guidance, I can lay the same copy to the House, Mr. Speaker.
Please do.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay a copy of the financing agreement titled Uganda Cities and Municipalities Infrastructure Development Operations between Republic of Uganda and the International Development Association of the World Bank. I hereby lay, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Are you satisfied because you had raised issues as a committee?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, colleagues, honorable members of Parliament. Yesterday we stayed over this issue because the committee was not satisfied with the documents that had been presented to the committee. But I'm happy to report that this morning, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, State in charge of general duties, appeared before the committee and clarified the issue that was queried by the members. I would therefore request that this House considers the motion as it was laid, that we pass a resolution for government to borrow up to 1,341 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank and receive a grant of 328.3 million to finance NUSAF 4, Dr. Deep, ULAN, PIM Plus, and WHMID.
Thank you. Colleagues, I now put the question that the motion. Yes, Honorable Jonathan.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday before this issue arose, we did not have the opportunity to comment on the report. I want to just proceed. It was not debated. I
thought the people who had commented were enough. Now we'll allow one. Only one.
Thank you. And my concern is briefly that when government conceives projects, I think the government needs to be honest in the scope of this project. I want to point out the issue of NUSAF, which has the name Northern Uganda Social Action Fund. But when you look at the beneficiaries, the coverage is wide outside what we know traditionally as Northern Uganda. And yet when it comes to other projects, which are entitled differently, they do not allow any space of beneficiaries from Northern Uganda. I can cite so many of that. So I thought at this time, if this is a social action fund and the intention is to cover the whole country, and I have no problem with that, the name of Northern Uganda should not be used. The name of Northern Uganda should not be used. Let's have Uganda Social Action Fund. Then you can bring all the districts and put it there. But to borrow a lot of money in the name of Northern Uganda and then send only 10%, and then most of the monies are eaten here in the OPM. We have records of how money of Northern Uganda was abused here in Kampala without people of the North receiving it. So I thought that that should be a very strong point that the government should take. If you do not like those from the Northern Uganda, do not borrow in their name. If you borrow in their name, send all the money to the North so that we can benefit. I thank you.
Thank you. That's a very, very strong point. Colleagues, I put the question that the motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize the government to borrow up to USD 1341 million from International Development Association of the World Bank Group and receive grants worth USD 328.3 million finance the underlisted projects and programs be approved by this House. Those in favor say to the content. The ayes have it. Thank you. But that's a very, very critical point raised by Honorable Jonathan Odu, just to do with the name. Let's not reopen this.
Right Honorable Speaker, I tabled a report here where we audited so many of these projects, Dr. Deep, NOSAF, and Parliament adopted a resolution, which is in implementation, is that a lot of government agencies, for example, when you look at Dr. Deep, they are going to do roads and do everything, but you have a ministry responsible and with the capability to do roads. You have a ministry responsible to do water. And you'll find now another ministry of doing water. So the way these projects are aligned with the competences in various, and when you did the RAPEX, isn't it high time? For example, we realized that Dr. Deep is a very good project. But if you read our report and the Auditor General's report on the capability of the OPM to do the work, is near non-existing. Therefore, my procedure point, which is very critical, in the method of execution, as we borrow, you want information? Okay.
Thank you very much, my senior comrade. I just wanted to raise this information. Much as Dr. Deep handles infrastructure, supports rehabilitation of roads, construction of these facilities, the mode, how it's done, it's that money is transferred to the district. And it is the local government that does the procurement and the constructions of, or not OPM. OPM does not implement that. I just wanted to give you that information.
Right Honorable Speaker, much as I'm receiving that information, I've had an opportunity to sit in a room with the implementers of these projects, and I now know how they work. Unless we clarify and be clear, let the Ministry of Water handle all water-related matters. Ministry of Works and Infrastructure does the infrastructure. Whether it's going to do the roads and do everything, let us streamline government. Otherwise, it's going to be business as usual. The impact will nearly be zero. We are receiving grants, and the impact will not be there. And that was a recommendation that we adopted by Parliament when we presented these reports. And I see we are back to square one.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Chivumbi, you know, when we present reports of the Auditor General and the recommendations are adopted, we wait for the Treasury Memorandum. Now, so that Treasury Memorandum which shows the action that has been taken. So I haven't received it to know whether the resolution as adopted was implemented. So let us wait, we interrogate, and we see that it's a very good point for noting, and I hope government which has been pushing for RAPEX consider this. This is all about RAPEX that we've been talking about. Okay? Next item. Colleagues, we've sorted this matter. Next item.
Item 6 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution of Parliament authorize government to borrow up to €115,876,831 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance the critical oil roads package 6B, that is the design and build upgrading of Karugutu Ntoroko Road, 56.5 kilometers, linked to Revisengo 8.2 kilometers and 3.3 kilometers of town roads in Ntoroko, in brackets 68 kilometers.
Honourable Minister, Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to borrow up to euros 115,876,831 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance the design and build of the upgrading of Karugutu Ntoroko Road and links 68 kilometers project, and this is under critical oil roads package 6B. I beg to move. Right Honourable Speaker.
Is the motion seconded? Honourable Remricha, use the Western, no Muyingo, Honourable Ramirama, Honourable Katumba, Honourable Mona, Minister for Disaster Preparedness, Rian. The group of West Nile, led by your bigger Rose. Yes, Musa Adrico. Is this Busongora? Yours is Busongora North? Yes. And Kajara. Oh, yes, Bundubujo. Bunyarua, Boka, Shema, Masindi, Enoch, Lamo, Toroma. Overwhelming support. Thank you. No, Minister, just a minute with a brief.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, pursuant to Article 159 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Section 34 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015, as amended, and Rule 162 of the Rules of Procedure, I have moved the motion to authorize government to borrow up to 115 million euros 876,831 to finance the Karugutu Ntoroko Road. Mr. Speaker, the project forms part of the critical oil roads infrastructure required to support the delivery of Uganda's first oil by 2025. Specifically, by 2025, we are still in the 2025. Yes. Specifically, the Karugutu Ntoroko Road and links to Gwebisengo 64.7 kilometers will be upgraded to paved standard, including 3.3 kilometers of town roads in Ntoroko, totaling to approximately 68 kilometers. The road will be designed and constructed to Class 2 paved standard with asphalt concrete surfacing and a design life of 20 years. The lane width will be 3.5 meters, carriage width of 7.0 meters, and shoulders of 2.0 meters on either side in the urban area and 1.5 meters on either side in the rural areas. The intervention supports the National Oil and Gas Infrastructure Plan and align with the Vision 2040, the NDP4, and the NRM Manifesto. The project financing, I had indicated the loan amount, Mr. Speaker, which we will get from Islamic Cooperation for the Insurance Investment and Export Credit, insurance premium of euros 15 1,417,443 and will be 100% financed by Standard Chartered Bank. The project covers the design and build of the upgrading of Karugutu-Ntoroko Road and its links 68 kilometers. The terms of financing, Mr. Speaker, are the following. Loan amount 115.876 million. Maturity period 10 years. Grace period 3 years. Interest rate is 6 months RIBOR, which is 2.214% as at 28th October 2025, plus margin of 2.15%, which totals 4.274% per annum. The arrangements or upfront fee of 1.4% calculated on the lender's facility amount. And this is only on the first part by the Islamic Corporation for Insurance of Investment. And agency fee is euros 20,000 per annum. Commitment fee 0.645% of the undrawn amount, and default interest is 2% over and above the interest rate, and the IEC premium is 2.25 per annum on disbursed amount and 0.625 per annum on the undisbursed amount. The repayment is 14 equal and consecutive semi-annual installments. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, the benefits of the road project will significantly boost the socio-economic development in the Albertine Graben by improving connectivity to social and economic facilities, enhancing access to rural and productive areas, and integrating Ntoroko district into the national paved road network. It will reduce transport costs, vehicle operating expenses, and travel time while promoting tourism around Lake Albert through a sustainable, upgraded, and dependable road infrastructure. Ultimately, the intervention will deliver a safe, secure, and environmentally sustainable transport system that supports local economic activities and aligns with the aspirations of the national roads sector. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. So, Honourable Chair, the Minister has given the biggest amount of highlights. I think we can start from page 9.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me lay a report of the Committee on National Economy on the proposal by government to borrow up to euros 115,876,831,000 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance the critical oil roads package 6B, design and build upgrade of Karugutu-Ntoroko Road 56.5 kilometers, linked to Revisengo 8.2 kilometers and 3.3 kilometers of town roads in Ntoroko, totaling to 68 kilometers. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the report, the minutes of the committee, and also the minority report that is signed by 2 members of my committee. Right Honourable Speaker, as guided, I'll begin from page 9. The minister has already given. The preamble to this loan. I would like to start from the constitutionality of the loan. Right Honourable Speaker, the loan amount is $115.876 million US dollars, equivalent to 473 million. The contract was signed between AFCON and UNDRA in March 2023, at a cost of 382.68 billion, excluding VAT. Government of Uganda offered 16.3 million shillings to date for land compensation out of 18.5 million, and the present value of this loan is about 116.2 million euros, and the total debt service of the loan will be 148.5 million euros. The grant element will be negative 15.7% at a discount rate of 5%. Right Honourable Speaker, this implies that this loan is a commercial loan since the grant element is negative 15.7% and is less than zero and significantly lower than our concessional threshold of 35%. Right Honourable Speaker, the project presents a positive present value of USD 108.071 million and economic rate of return of 21.7%. Since the economic rate of return is higher than the Uganda's economic opportunity cost of 11, it is an indication that the project is economically viable and impactful to the whole country with both indirect and direct benefits. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me move direct to the recommendations, the observations and recommendations of the committee. In terms of performance of debt finance projects in the works and transport sector, the committee noted that some of the projects under the sector have delayed beyond approved project schedules. This includes the development of the new Kampala port at Bukasa with a disbursement rate of 56%. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport develops a mechanism to fast-track implementation of projects under its jurisdiction to ensure those that are delayed can get back to their planned scheduled. River Semiliki Bridge connection to DRC. The committee noted that the River Semiliki Bridge connecting to DRC Congo is not included in the project. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport should incorporate the construction of the River Semiliki Bridge connection to DRC into this project in order to boost trade between Uganda and DRC and further improve the livelihoods of the people in the project area. Distribution of critical oil roads. The committee noted that some of the critical oil roads in Bunyoro sub-region were left out. This includes Nalweyo, Kisita, Mpasana, Nkoko, Masode, Kiboga, and B, Kisita, Bukwiri, and Chankwazi, and then Busita, Mutazinke, and Kikona. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport fast-tracks the construction of these roads in order to improve the livelihoods of the people in this area. In light of the above, in light of the project's strategic importance, the committee recommends that the proposal by government to borrow up to euros 115,876,831,000 from the Standard Chartered Bank to finance the critical oil roads package 6B, design and build upgrading of Karugutu-Ntoroko Road, 56.5 kilometers, linked to Rwebiswengo 8.1 and 3.3 kilometers, 3.63 kilometers of town roads in Ntoroko, totaling to 68 kilometers, be approved by this House, subject to the above recommendations. I beg.
Thank you. I'm opening for debate. Honorable Gumayo, Honorable
Right
Remlicha.
Honorable, right Honorable Speaker.
Sorry.
I had intimated that we have a minority report.
Yes.
Signed by 2 members.
Thank you. Honorable Chirumira Hassan.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want to categorically thank my chair for a very good presentation of a report from our committee. But as members, we dissented on some few issues that I want to present to this August House. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we are cognizant of the oil roads in the Albertine region. And we are much aware of how it's going to boost trade and tourism in our country. But Right Honorable Speaker, we acknowledge the government's goal and its partners' nightmare in achieving the first oil roads by 2020. I remember the minister just mentioned it was 2025, but the original date was 2020, which was then revised to this current year, 2025, and nothing has yet materialized. I think that should be put on record. We are getting to the end of the year, and that has not happened. Honorable Speaker, we dissented on 2 critical issues. First and foremost, the loan is too expensive for the taxpayers in our country, and 2, non-compliance with the parliamentary rules of procedure. Honorable Speaker, we are much aware that this loan is purely commercial from Standard Chartered Bank at an interest of 6 months Euribor, which is 2.09%, plus a margin of 2.1%, an arrangement fee paid up front of 1.4%, a commitment fee of 0.645% for undrawn amounts, and an agency fee of $20,000 payable annually. And probably that's a cut. Honorable colleagues, in addition to these costs, this loan includes an insurance premium of 15 million plus. And that means increase in the debt burden of our country. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, this parliament should take interest in the increasing and recent borrowing from Standard Chartered Bank. Over the last 10 years, we have borrowed only and only from Standard Chartered Bank in cases of projects concerning our roads. And moreover, these projects are stagnant. Some of them have never got started. Are we having a loan broker between the government of Uganda and Standard Chartered Bank? Colleagues, the total debt of this country is 116 trillions, with a debt to GDP ratio having increased from 41% in 2018 to 52% in 2025, a rise of 10 trillions per annum. Right now, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, it is high time we reduce the appetite to borrow, because the wananchis of today and in the near future are going to be adversely affected by these increased borrowings, especially from unconcessional loans. Honorable Speaker, our second point of dissent was on non-compliance with parliamentary approval guidelines. Our hands are tied, Right Honorable Speaker, by Rule 162, 5B, which says that for any loan request before Parliament for approval, it must include a list of financing options. And that's why we questioned why only Standard Chartered Bank. If the minister presented other financing options, could be we would have gotten another option that was a little bit cheaper compared to this current loan application. The committee, while scrutinizing this project request, was not provided with a list of financing options. We are left in the dark about the criteria used to choose Standard Chartered Bank as the lender for this loan. If other options had been presented, perhaps we would have examined this loan more closely, because it's contrary to our public debt framework principles that require such projects to be financed through concessional terms. Honorable Speaker, a recommendation is that, one, the minister responsible for finance renegotiate for better terms of this loan and report back to Parliament to save taxpayers' money. And two, the minister presents a list of financing options considered and the scores of the financiers that showed interest in financing this loan for Parliament review. Because it is highly questionable to only think that only Standard Chartered Bank was the only available lender to the government of Uganda. In conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, we respectfully request that this House stands on this request for more favourable borrowing terms from another creditor to protect the country from the already burdened debt to GDP ratio, which is nearly 52% threshold. This report, minority report, was signed by two members, Honourable Tebandeke Charles and myself, Chirumira Hassan. Thank you. I beg to submit. Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister for Finance. Yeah, because I just needed, before I open up, the Minister for Finance responds to these issues, especially on other lenders, who on the list of lenders who are interested in this project. Was it only Standard Chartered Bank, Honourable Minister, or you looked out for other lenders to pick interest in this project?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, it is easier said than done. We normally get a number of expressions of interest when we want to procure financing for various projects of government. There are so many who come and we ask them, okay, express your interests. Then we engage into discussions and negotiations. And we always take the best terms available. So, and for this project, it is Standard Chartered Bank which came with favorable terms, and that is why we moved with it.
Yes, Honourable Chirumira.
Our query was on the presentation of the list of creditors that piqued interest in borrowing the government of Uganda, which was not presented to the committee. We are aware, of course, government negotiates with so many creditors willing to borrow the government of Uganda. The question is, why in this case there was no any other creditor or a list provided before the committee for people who are interested? If it's available, maybe you can lay it on the table.
Just Honourable Minister first. Honourable Mara, your roads are flooded, so you don't have the audacity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, given time, I can provide this information.
Yeah, that would mean us standing over this. Honourable Minister, as we talk, you have a technical team which can help us. Yes, and they are listening. So, Minister's technical team, please help us with the list as the Minister is handling issues here of the creditors who were interested in financing this project, so that the Minister can share with us here. Yes,
thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I just want to dissuade the position taken by my comrade, my colleague there, that the loan is expensive. When you consider in the banking world, the 6 months Eurobor of 2% plus a margin of 2.1 is basically a cheap loan. Normally, even you go to the bank now to get a foreign currency denominated loan, it will go at LIBOR at 11%. And it's very expensive here. If you go to any bank now and ask for a dollar-denominated loan, it is quite expensive. So the rates which has been provided, negotiated by our teams, I think it is good. Any other thing like arrangement fees, these are standard provisions, part of the CPs. So $20,000 with the level of the amount of loans we are borrowing per month is actually a small amount. I just want to convince my colleagues that the loan is cheap, is affordable. And then secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, in terms of our debt position, debt to GDP ratio at 52% is still within our Charter for Fiscal Responsibility. And this is what we are projected in the 5-year term period. Thank you.
Honorable Gumayo. Then Honorable Remricha. Then Honorable Bigaro.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you. First of all, I want to thank government for moving in quickly and finding the fastest means to have these roads secured through financing. Right Honorable Speaker, in a manner of looking at the broad sense of econometrics, if you look at these roads suggested under this loan, Right Honorable Speaker, well aware that Uganda has been investing lots of money in pacifying Eastern Congo. And the only return that Uganda expects from this Operation Shujaa is increased trade between Uganda and Congo, and security as well. Right Honorable Speaker, the particular roads we are talking about will provide a miracle for Uganda. In which sense? For example, the road mentioned under this loan, Karugutu-Ntoroko, provides the only road which can guarantee a single-day return journey for a trader coming from Kampala. If proper harmonization is done with water transport, a trader with cargo will be able to move from Kampala, reach Lake Albert Port, proceed to Bunia, and return back to Kampala in just under 24 hours. Now, there is no any road that offers that alternative, apart from this particular road. Now, the report of the committee already has pointed that, considering that the economic return on the road is way above the cost, I think, Right Honorable Speaker, it is very right that our colleagues who have written the mandatory report consider the benefits of this road that outweigh the cost of the loan. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Remricha.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. The Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the committee for the good report, and I want to thank my honorable colleagues for the support. The Right Honorable Speaker, since 2016, we've been fighting for this road. All other roads in Hoima, in Bunyoro sub-region, were worked upon, were constructed, and this road has been lagging. General Katumba, the Honorable Minister, knows how we've been fighting. First, the Right Honorable Speaker, if Congo is open to Uganda in terms of trade, the Right Honorable Speaker, you can't believe. The trucks that go through Ntoroko, to Ntoroko port, 200 per day. But if you see the condition of the road, the Right Honorable Speaker, it's alarming. And this road goes through the Semiliki Game National, it's now a national park. We want to thank government. With rare species, the Big Five, this will also boost tourism. And thirdly, the Greater Websengo, the other side down, that's because we have a link to Websengo. The Right Honorable Speaker, you know we've had flood for a very long time. Moving from Websengo to Karugutu when we have floods, you cannot. The entire Greater Websengo is cut off. So this will also be a link that will link us to Kargut, will link us to Fort Potro. And the Honorable Speaker, with this kind of infrastructure development in Toroko, I think the entire Uganda will be open to Eastern Congo, because this road can take you to Bunia. That's why we are saying we should have this bridge, Semiliki Bridge, because from there to Bunia it's just 78 kilometers. Kasenyi, Chomia, Bunia, you go to Komanda, you go to Kisangani. And a lot of business, Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, if this road is worked upon, Semiliki Bridge is incorporated, I know, Honorable colleagues, all of you, you'll have to go to Congo and do trade. Let's UPDA pacify that area. I think this is a critical road, Honorable Speaker, and I plead with my colleagues that let's support it, because it's going really to add value to the economy of this country. I want to thank the Honorable.
Yes. Honorable,
thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. In the same vein, I want to join in thanking the committee and Honorable Minister. I normally don't like to speak on speculations, but I also want to remind the House that this time when we had a challenge with Karuma Bridge, we had an alternative. And this particular road will give a very good alternative to the current road. We, as a Committee of Natural Resources, we use the current road our friends are using. It's really in appalling state. And having a lot of interest in tourism would go a very great distance in selling this country and attracting a lot of tourists to come in. I want to thank you. And lastly, I just want to say that it's not that throughout we've been talking about one bank. I remember before this particular one, there was some borrowing from Islamic Bank. So it's not good to always depend on speculations and anticipations. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, those of you who haven't visited in Toroko, I would request you go to Toroko. You will just understand why in Toroko needs, and I pray for you. Pray for people from Toroko. Honorable Odur.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my first comment is to ask the Minister of Finance to always be serious. We have taken a lot of time. Just because a document with them cannot be provided, there is a reason why these documents are put on our rules and in the laws, and it can save Parliament a lot of time. But secondly, I want to sympathize with my brother, the Honorable Remelicha. I've been in this Parliament since 2016. In fact, if there is a reason why I would be very hesitant at the invitation to join NRM, is how I saw him suffering. Being a member of NRM, he has been here on this floor pleading for 10 years. And I'm sure that there are political consequences on him on this particular road. Then I said, if a member inside, supposedly the kitchen, can suffer like this, what about an outsider who comes here? So the only downside is how government conceives the project. And I want this to go on record. When you are doing roads, you don't need to call them oil roads. Just say we want to do a road and justify it as it has been stated here. Because what about other parts of the country without oil? Every time you come, I mentioned, you come and tell us about an oil road, a tourism oil, a security road. But if I ask where is the coffee road in Mbale, in Bugisu, and in Buganda, where is the fish road? They are not there. What about us in Lango? What are we going to, which roads are we going to be given? Is it? Yes, so let it be known to the country that in this region you are going to be having cassava roads, in this region is banana roads, in this region we are going to have this. Because
but Honorable Jonathan, just to supplement you, even when you say oil, some funders will run away, right? Because of the demonstrations all over the world against oil and climate change. So I totally agree with you.
So I'm just thinking that those names are used to marginalize certain communities. This is a loan that will be financed by each and every Ugandan. And we appreciate that DRC opens a lot of market for us. It brings in revenue. So in conceiving projects, let's move away from this putting in things that isolate other parts of the country, because we don't see ourselves there. Otherwise, I want to invite my brother, Honorable Mara, that when questions are raised about cost, and it is not that we are against this particular loan, but just to give the government an idea. One time I went to Ghana, supported by this parliament, and I learned that because for them they keep changing after every 5 or 10 years. So there was a stalemate at one point where the opposition took over government, and they had been opposing loans a lot. And then it came on their time now to ask for a loan to be approved. And the other side said, but you used to oppose these loans, how will you move? So sometimes we have to be reasonable, because these roads will be there, whether we are this side or that side. I thank you.
Thank you. So now I wait for Mitoma to receive consumers of oil road. So, because we consume this oil, which yes, I had allowed Honorable Kayondo.
Thank you very much.
And then Honorable Abunji.
Mr. Speaker, if it wasn't for the case of Honorable Remriche, I wouldn't have supported this. But ever since I joined this parliament, as I was crying for Kome Ferry, he has been crying for that road. Thank you. But Chair, my concern is about how we follow up with the loans we pass here. Mr. Speaker, these loans are spiced, and they are given a lot of spices to convince us pass the loans. Immediately after passing the loans, people who implement the loans, they implement different things without consulting the parliament here. Honorable Speaker, I'll give you an example. We passed a loan here. It's a World Bank loan. We took Honorable Migade here. He inspected, and indeed we are convinced that this loan should be passed to implement what is on the ground. The moment the loan was passed, Mr. Speaker, something different is being done. We had to construct a market in Katosi. It is not being constructed. We had to do Bujiji Impata Road. It's not being constructed. Something now, the loan was diverted. Therefore, my concern, before I support the loan, Mr. Speaker, let us strengthen on how we follow up these loans, that exactly what we pass is what is being implemented on the ground. Otherwise, loans are spiced here, but what is on the ground is different from what Parliament passes here. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we have, through our oversight role, number one, we have the Auditor General, who audits all these projects. That's number two. We have the Committee on National Economy, which should also be looking at the performance, because usually, before they go for approving such a loan, they look at other projects. Then, but we also have the sectoral committee, which should be following up. So what Honorable Kayondi is saying, that we should improve on our oversight mechanism so that there is a should I call it, post-approval scrutiny of the projects to ensure that what we pass here is what is being done. Honorable Babunji.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I also raised to support the loan and thank the government for having considered working on these roads, though they are named as oil roads, but it's going to benefit also in other sectors. It's only the word Bundibujo missing, being the mother of Ntoroko district, but the roads are going to benefit both populations from Bundibujo and Ntoroko. He has raised about the tourism. Right Honorable Speaker, you can't imagine, more especially this festive season we are going in now, how many tourists we are going to receive who are going to use the same roads, and how many schools and other tourists we receive on a daily basis, especially those also who are going to the hot springs and to the Semliki National Park. There are so many bird species which they come to see, and on top of that, it's going to improve on our socioeconomic benefits. For example, Right Honorable Speaker, you can't imagine, it will not only connect to Congo, but it will also connect up to Nimule in the West Nile through the waters and those borders.
So we are really very grateful for this loan. These roads should have been worked on more than yesterday. And now, Right Honorable Speaker, now you realize that it's very, very important to maintain, Ministry of Works to maintain the Fort Portal, Karugutu, Bundibujo Road up to the border. Because we have so many numbers of the trucks which use the same road. You were there recently, you saw for yourself. So thank you so much, and we appreciate the efforts which are going to be done. Thank you.
Honorable Chivumbi.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have only two concerns. One I associate with the minority report, but I have two concerns, Right Honorable Speaker. One, I see the committee says this is design and build upgrading of this road. My experience, and while we are auditing, where you don't have a design and you want to build a road, there are a lot of assumptions. Therefore, the cost packaging of this road will greatly change as the design is done. And the Auditor General has been faltering Parliament for passing loans to do road and other projects without a clear feasibility study, without a design. We seem to follow this one. And Right Honorable Speaker, what normally happens when you do a road and design, this first borrowing becomes a sweetener, just to lead you into a trap of starting a project. Along the way, they will come here and reborrow and reborrow and reborrow. That's why, Right Honorable Speaker, when I've looked at the unit cost per kilometer on this road, it is $1.6 million. It's 5.7 billion. It is 1.6. On the face of it, it looks abnormally low, okay? Given that you are talking about $14 million. This is $1.6 million. The reason is that all these assumptions and this borrowing, as I see it, will lead to more borrowing as we go along. But what do you normally get along the way is project delay, completion dates. And because you need to process more loans, and more loans to finance this project. I strongly believe that this is not a well-conceived borrowing, given that we are still borrowing on a design and build. And I think Parliament should strongly walk away from approving loans on a design and build concept. It is very, very risky to take that path. Honorable Mara tried to look, when you look at absolute numbers, which are in the report, clearly this will go up to 600 billion in terms of total loan payment and servicing, which is far and over above the borrowed amount of money. So it's not a cheap loan. It's very, very expensive loan given. So your mathematics is not, your mathematics is not correct this time around, sir. The last thing, Right Honorable Speaker, is that if I'm not opposing information.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you, senior colleague, for giving way. In the current construction world, we are tending towards package deal contracts, where we let a contractor take the burden of designing, take risks of designing and constructing. And in the end, this becomes cheaper because the alternative would be harder. Government would have to, first of all, call for design contractors, which is an expensive process. Then again, the contractors would be hard to coordinate with the one who is constructing and do design reviews. So this package deal contracting method becomes cheaper in the long run, in a sense that the one who designs takes the risks to remain with the responsibility to remain within the contract sum and causing for minimum variations in the process of construction. Thank you.
Which, if that were true, and I asked the chairman of the committee, in the terms which we are approving, because we are approving terms, are those conditionalities in those terms, in the contract terms? Is that much as going to do a design, he will not vary to a certain extent within a given line? Because the Auditor General faulted Parliament for approving loans on these very terms. And that's why I want to tell you, much as you are saying that is design, the world we are in is not as straight as you think. Is that we have been taken on this road, and what we have been taken, look at Mpigi Express Highway. But it was also done on design and build. What has happened?
But Honorable Chivumbi, you see, Auditor General's recommendation, that's why they come to you here, so that you can look through and you add value. So you don't only conclude on them and you say we cannot proceed this way because the Auditor General said ABCD, especially on those which are general, but we engage and we study and we see the alternatives being looked at. So I think what we will need to do on that, we will need to specifically engage the ministry on the submissions of the Auditor General, on the conclusions of the Auditor General, and they respond to you, and we weigh and we advise. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Honourable Minister for Works.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, I want to thank you for all the contributions on this project. As already alluded to, this is a project which has been on the shelf for a long time, and now I'm going to be I think I'm going to rest from Honourable here, who has been all the time disturbing me about this road. One of the things I want to tell Parliament is that for this particular project, we have 85% of the land, so there will be no delay about the land acquisition. That one has already been done. And this road is a very, very critical trade route, other than just being what we call, Honourable, the HT was said, the oil roads. It's a very, very critical trade route because it takes a lot of trucks to the Ntoroko port. We may possibly come here again to find a way of developing Ntoroko as a port, because right now it's rudimentary as it is. If somebody has been in that belt, that road actually is going to circumvent Semiriki National Park, in a way saving the park from the current situation where people have been driving through the park and causing a lot of destabilization in the park. So the park is going to be protected by the road circumventing through Revisengo and getting to Ntoroko. So this road has all those advantages to serve the park, but at the same time protect the park against the abuses of those who have been traveling through the park. Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue of Fort Portal, Bundibujo Lamia, we already have a contractor who's doing full maintenance of that road. That's Quadro C, is doing all the rehabilitation, because as you possibly visited, Right Honourable Speaker, you found when some of the sections of the road had failed. So we have a full maintenance team on that road. So I want to thank honourable members, and I want to appeal to the members that let's pass this on. The contract is ready, the contract is ready, the commercial contract is ready, and so we are ready to go as soon as Parliament endorses.
Thank you, Honourable Minister for Finance. We needed your clarification, more information to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is an issue which arose from the minority report about on whether we looked at various financing options. I wish to inform the House that in respect of this borrowing, we invited expression of interest and Standard Chartered Bank and TDB expressed interest. We did an analysis of the terms, the effective interest under TDB was 10.77% in dollars and 9.14 in euro, and the effective interest under Standard Chartered Bank was 8.71%, which was cheaper than TDB, and we took a decision to enter into an arrangement with Standard Chartered Bank.
Thank you. Honourable colleagues, I now put the question that a motion for a resolution of Parliament authorize government to borrow up to euro 101. I put the question that a motion for a resolution of Parliament authorize government to borrow up to euro 115,876,831 from Standard Chartered Bank to finance the critical oil roads package 6B, design and build upgrading of Karugutun Toroko Road, 56.5 kilometer, link to Revisengo, 8.2 kilometer, and 3.3 kilometer of town roads in Toroko, a total of 68 kilometer, be approved by this House. Those in favor say unto the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Clerk extract the resolution and send it to the committee. Congratulations, honorable colleagues from Toroko, honorable Muricha, Honorable Ogumayo, Honorable Babunji, and Honorable Sowedik Tanya, MPs from that area. Congratulations. I know what this means. And Honorable Minister kindly look through that Bundibujo in Toroko Road. I passed there recently. I can see some areas are already getting compromised. You need to look at it early. I don't know where these people would pass, for God's sake. If you get a problem on that road, it would be huge, huge trouble for that area. I don't know if you have plans for that area, maintenance.
Right, Honorable Speaker, that's what I was alluding to, that realizing that some of the sections of that road is fading, we have now put Quadro C, CCC, to do the rehabilitation and maintenance of that road. Because that's a critical trade road up to Lamia, and we can't afford, and it's the cocoa source, the source of cocoa in this country, and I think people know the price of cocoa now, so we can't afford to lose that product.
When we were in Wondobujo for PTM to colleagues on a right note, there's a gentleman who's making some good money from cocoa. He told Honorable Yomonse that he cannot have a right to marry a second wife because he has no cocoa. There's a person without cocoa you can't marry. You know. They are very, very proud of it, and they are doing a fantastic job. We just need to help them on value addition, ensure they get more and more money. Let's do one more item, honorable colleagues, and we can complete the rest tomorrow.
Item number 7 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution.
I wanted us to do, because electricity, I want to do it tomorrow when the minister is here. I think we do item number 8.
Item number 8 on the order paper. Motion for resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to euro 192,959,605.47 from Citibank to finance the proposed phase 1 of the Enhancing Agricultural Production, Quality and Standards for Market Access project.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to borrow up to euros 192,959,605.47 from Citibank to finance the Enhancing Agricultural Production, Quality and Standards for Market Access project. I beg to move.
With the motion seconded, Honorable Bahati Fandaleño, Honorable Alanyo, yes, Honorable Ramrama, Honorable Mona, Honorable Timothy, Honorable Ndamira, Honorable Karubanga, Honorable Ochor, Ochwa, sorry, yes. Honorable Adrico Yovan, Honorable colleagues, most of you have just, yes. No, Minister, we can do a quick summary. You don't need to go through the rules and all that. You just should wait.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the rules are similar to the previous loan and I presented. I now come to the project components. The project comprises 3 major components: design to strengthen agricultural quality assurance systems, enhance value addition infrastructure, and ensure effective coordination and international accreditation of facilities. Component 1, provision of quality assurance and standards equipment and infrastructure. This component focuses on establishing and equipping modern facilities for testing, certification, storage, and inspection to ensure the safety and competitiveness of agricultural products, and includes 1, airport pre-shipment treatment facility, installation of an irradiation system at Entebbe Airport for pre-export treatment of agricultural goods. 2, National Agricultural Diagnostics Laboratory and Support Center, a central facility for disease, pesticide, residue, and chemical contamination testing, servicing crops, fish, and livestock, with capacity for research, training, and management of mini labs. 3, National Agricultural Food Safety Laboratory and Support Center, a comprehensive laboratory for microbiological and chemical testing, food quality certification, and training accredited to international food safety standards. 4, National Veterinary Medical Stores, a secure national storage facility for animal drugs and vaccines, providing testing, traceability, and distribution services. 5, zonal research laboratories and compliance centers, regional centers aligned to agroecological zones for certification, basic testing, cold storage, and farmer training in best agricultural practices. 6, district mini laboratories, district level facilities, for example, collection, basic testing, and forwarding of zonal or national labs for advanced diagnostics. 7, export animal pre-quarantine facility and export animal quarantine facility, a veterinary facility for disease monitoring, sampling, vaccination, and certification of animal before movement or export. 8, land border export facility, quality control and rapid testing center near border posts to verify compliance with sanitary and phytosanitary standards for agricultural export. 9, fish landing sites, facility for aggregation, cleaning, grading, and temporary storage of fish, include drying racks, mini lab, and inspector office for quality control. 10, SPS, export training and demonstration facility, a national training hub for inspectors, farmers, and exporters of SPS standards, offering live demonstrations, production monitoring, and research support. Under component 2, provision of value addition, equipment, and infrastructure. This component aims to enhance post-harvest handling, processing, and storage capacity for agricultural commodities. It includes 1, fruit and vegetable export facility, aggregation and processing plant for sorting, grading, cooling, and packaging produce from smallholder farmers equipped with 2 pack lines of up to 5 tons per hour. 2, national food and seed reserve facilities, barrack storage and processing centers for maize and grains, with drying, cleaning, and silos of up to 10,000 metric tons capacity, each equipped with mini labs and QMAC certification systems. These facilities will connect to the G-SOCO trading platform to facilitate traceability, quality assurance, and market access for both local and export trade. Component 3, project coordination, ownership, owners, engineer, and accreditation of facilities. This component provides for project management, training, and facility accreditation. It includes 1, engagement of an owner's engineering firm for design supervision, commissioning, and oversight during the construction and warranty periods. 2, training of facility operators, inspectors, and technocrats to ensure efficient operation and maintenance. 3, accreditation of all project facilities to recognize international standards, including ISO, Food Safety System Certification, Global Gap, UNBS, and British Retail Council. The project financing, Right Honorable Speaker, the total project cost is 201 million euros, 684.33, comprised of a total loan of 192.959, representing 95% of the commercial contract, plus UKF premium of euro 24.66 million, which will be funded by Citibank in 2 tranches, namely an up to euro 85.725, which is 100% UKF guaranteed tranche, and euro 107.233 UKF direct tranche, and 2 GOU counterpart funding, GOU's Government of Uganda, counterpart funding of up to euros 8.724, representing 5% of the commercial contract amount. The financing terms are the following. Loan amount is, as I stated earlier, the period is 13 years, including grace period of 3 years. Arrangement fees is 0.95%. This is a one-off payment which shall become due and payable on the date of execution of the facility documentation. Facility agency fee is euros 20,000 per annum. Mr. Speaker, in addition to the above terms, euro 192.959 UKF facility will be funded in 2 tranches on the following terms. 1, 100% UKF guaranteed loan. Tranche terms are as follows. Loan amount 85.725. Interest rate is 6 months Euribor plus margin, and which is now tentatively at 2.124% plus 0.7%, which totals 2.824%. Out of which base rate is 6 months Euribor, 2.124% as at October 28th October 2025, and margin is 0.7%. Commitment fee is 0.245 per annum, paid on the undrawn portion of the UKF guaranteed tranche. Mr. Speaker, I would like to note that Euribor is a variable rate that changes over time based on the reference rate or market conditions, currently at 2.124 as at 28th October. Under B, the UKF direct loan tranche terms as follows. Loan amount 107.233. Interest rate 3.79% per annum based on the CIR of 28th October 2025. And commitment fee is 0.36% per annum, paid on the undrawn portion of the UKF direct loan amount. We would like to note that the CIR is a variable interest rate that will be fixed at the date of signature of the financing agreement, currently at 3.79% per annum, as of 28th October 2025. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the project will help Uganda's farmers and agribusiness produce safer, higher quality products. The project will help Uganda's farmers and agribusinesses produce safer, higher quality products that can compete on global markets by building modern laboratories, storage centers, and value addition facilities. It will make it easier to test, certify, and process goods that meet international standards. This means fewer export rejections, better prices, and more reliable access to regional and overseas markets. The project will also create jobs, improve food security for consumers, strengthen private sector growth, and support local industries, driving higher incomes and broader economic transformation. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. So, Honorable Chair, I can see Honorable Minister has taken us through the detail. Maybe we can do from around page 15, if you're comfortable.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to round table the minutes of the Committee of National Economy in considering this loan request. I beg to lay, and the report of the committee considering this. Right Honorable Speaker and the Honorable colleagues, Speaker, like you have guided, I start from page 15, but this is a report of the Committee on National Economy on the proposal to borrow up to euro 192,959,605 from Citibank to finance the proposed phase 1 of the enhancing agriculture production, quality and standards for market access project. As you guided, Right Honorable Speaker, I start from page 15. Allow me to start on page 14. Honorable Speaker, the present discounted value of the loan of euro 108, which are 2 tranches, is greater than the nominal value of the loan, euro 107. This implies that the total future payment of the loan is higher than the proposed amount to be borrowed in present terms. The total future payment of the loan will amount to euro 608.4 million after the loan period of 13 years. The loan is commercial since its grant element is less than 0 and lower than the concessional threshold of 35%. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the loan will be implemented by MAIF, but we think Ministry of Trade should be part and parcel of the implementation because you have standards. Committee observations and recommendations. The committee observed proposed borrowing worth euro 192 million is a UK export finance facility from Citibank, which includes a premium of 12.78%. The minister's brief to Parliament estimates the premium to be equivalent to euro 24.660237 million euros. This implies that the total external financing required for the project is estimated to be euro 198.299 million. The committee noted that 12.78% of euro 168.299 is equivalent to euro 21.51 million, which is euro 3.152 million less than the estimate provided by the Minister of Finance. The committee also noted that the premium fee being charged is relatively higher than some of other premiums, such as the Sinosure insurance recently approved at 7%. The committee recommends that government undertakes borrowing of up to euro 189.81 million rather than the proposed euro 192.96 million, following the required premium in relation to the project's cost. B, supplies in a timely manner all documents communicating the negotiated financing costs and terms to facilitate timely processing of loan requests by Parliament. C, renegotiates the premium fee to minimize on-debt servicing cost. 8.2, low absorption of disbursement of funds in past projects. The committee notes with concern that as of December 2024, MAIF was implementing 7 externally financed projects with a total committed value of US $720.61 million, yet only US $112.78 million had been disbursed, representing an overall disbursement rate of just 16%. This indicates significant project implementation inefficiencies, particularly related to delayed procurement processes, disbursement, delays from donors, and weak coordination across agencies. The risk of similar underperformance exists if institutional bottlenecks are not addressed. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries strengthen its institutional capacity to implement their projects efficiently, including establishing a fully staffed and technically competent project management unit with clear timelines, deliverables, and performance indicators. 8.3, project scope. The committee notes that the project comprises extensive infrastructure development across 69 districts in 13 agroecological zones, including national level laboratories, pre-export facilities, veterinary quarantine stations, food safety labs, agro-processing facilities, and training centers. While the comprehensive scope reflects the urgent need to transform agricultural value chains, the committee notes that such breadth presents a significant coordination and execution challenge, especially in light of MAIF's previous project performance. The committee recommends that MAIF strengthens its project monitoring and evaluation framework by incorporating real-time data analytics and periodic independent audits. This will enable timely identification of implementation bottlenecks and facilitate adaptive management to improve overall project performance. Further, MAIF should invest in targeted capacity building for local implementing agencies to ensure consistent standards and enhance execution quality across the diverse agroecological zones. The committee further recommends that government ensures coordination with the other ongoing and planned externally financed initiatives in the agriculture sector, particularly under the agro-industrialization program, to maximize synergies, avoid duplication of efforts, and promote efficient resource utilization. To the Honorable Speaker and the Honorable colleagues, conclusion. Subject to the observations and recommendations presented above, the committee recommends that the government borrows up to euro 189 million 800 borrows euros 189,809,026 million from Citibank to finance the proposed phase 1 of the enhancing agricultural production, quality, and standards for market access. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I beg to report. Honorable Speaker, we also have a minority from our colleagues, as always, but we work together. So please, I also beg to let
as always, we work together. That's what you meant, eh?
Yes, as always, we work together, and that's why I have a copy of the minority.
Thank you. Honorable Chirumi, I just do a summary, like how the chair has also done a summary.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And once again, I want to thank my able chair for the very good presentation. But, Right Honorable Speaker, again, we differed from the committee report on two basic issues. Right Honorable Speaker, a loan to boost quality of our agricultural products is needed locally and internationally. However, this particular request lacked the minimum standard, and we dissented from the main report. One, because of non-compliance with the parliamentary rules of procedure, and two, the committee did not visit these proposed agricultural interventions as per our core role of oversight. Honorable Speaker, Rule 162 overrules.
Honorable, you have reported around 3 minority reports on that same exact point. Can you go to the second point of non-visiting?
This one particularly, Right Honorable Speaker, when this loan application was brought before our committee, Rule 162 mandates that the Committee on Agriculture, the sectoral committee, was meant to report on this particular loan and the different agricultural projects, projects for this particular loan, but that never happened. And if such a rule is violated, it invalidates any approval of this particular request and exposes Parliament to a legal redress. Additionally, while processing the loan, Rule 162 emphasizes that this committee scrutinizes the list of financing options. Again, that was disregarded. To Right Honorable Speaker, our oversight duty as legislators was overlooked in the process of processing this particular loan. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, many of the externally financed projects under the Ministry of Agriculture are non-performing, and that is a fact, such as strengthening climate smart agriculture research seat and agroclimate information system. Projects, such projects like building a competitive and sustainable seed system have failed because of the delayed approval of the submitted specification and design. The market development and linkage project for selected value chains also failed due to delayed design of implementation roadmap. Similarly, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, projects like the establishment of agricultural mechanization centers in Buwama, Agwata, Chiriandongo, all failed to kickstart. Particularly in Agwata Mechanization Center in Dokolo for northern Uganda, that where the Minister of Agriculture launched and lied to the President that the center is operational. It is non-operational, it was abandoned, and machines are just there. A few police officers are guarding the place in a bushy area. What a waste of taxpayers' money. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, it would be prudent for this committee, for the Committee on National Economy, in conjunction with the Committee on Agriculture, to visit these proposed interventions for the loan application to be successful. But because this never happened, the Committee on Agriculture know nothing about this loan application. They are not informed about this loan application, and it is a sectoral committee that is mandated to do oversight duties. Our prayers right now, Speaker, is that Parliament does stand on this loan and first receive an input from the Committee on Agriculture. Two, both the Committee on National Economy and the Committee on Agriculture should first visit these projects and ascertain value for money before additional approvals for these specific interventions. And finally, Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Agriculture should first update the House on the performance of all externally financed and funded projects immediately before any other wastage of taxpayers' money. Thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable colleagues. The Committee of Agriculture, they have not stopped you from doing your work. Continue doing it. Colleagues, I put the question that the motion for a resolution of Parliament authorizes government to borrow up to Euro 192
959,605.47 from Citibank to finance the proposed phase 1 of the Enhancing Agricultural Production Quality and Standards for Market Access project be approved by this House. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary. The ayes have it. House adjourned to tomorrow at 2 p.m.